hello. Hey ho. Craig! Craig! How are you doing, Craig? It's all about the Craig here. I raise my glass to you, Craig. Hmm. I'm hoping this streaming malarkey is working. I know we haven't done it for ages. And I I've been pretty good right now. Lots of busyness. Baza! Za, 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 za. So today I thought I was speaking to some of the lads in the Discord, and I was made aware of a program called Div. It's a programming DX Game Studio, and it's a whole thing that used to exist where it's pretty much like STOS or something. Um, and it's I was speaking to one of the creators of it, and apparently it's like an entire game development environment like STOS, where you've got your sprite editor, your map editor, your tile editor, your sound thing, your programming language, all of that stuff, all wrapped up in one. So I thought we'll try some of the games that are written in it, and we'll see if it's something that seems to have the technologies that we would want to use. I was just realizing on my screen was the actual YouTube dashboard. So that was so meta for you to see all the meta-ness going on. So the first one we're going to have a quick look at. And remember, we're going to go into the actual like Stossy type environment in a little while. But before we do it, I thought let's just try the games because apparently they run on loads of things. If you write a game on this, it'll run on Android, it'll run on Mac, it'll run on anything in a web browser, all of that good stuff. And that sounds good, doesn't it? So here's one of them. This is Donkey Kong PC. So I'm going to try that, and I'm going to click the old full screen. Now we're going to get the old sound sorted. So if there's sound, hopefully it'll go through the right place. Oops. Okay, F1 isn't necessarily a good key to use in the game itself. I think it's working. I look very Madonna. What's the sound like, guys? Is it too overpowering? No! This is good though, isn't it? It's legit, guys. It's legit. This is slick though, isn't it? This seems it seems kind of better than the ones in the arcade because it's almost emulating it, the 8-bit graphics. You can see it's kind of got a high res going on because if you look at the numbers in the top of the screen, they're sharper than the main graphics. But I mean that's pretty fine. I mean if you wrote that and you were aiming for some sort of retro, you'd be pretty happy, wouldn't you? So that is Divrain. I should probably let me put the whole URL as well for this thing in here in case anybody does want to play along. I'll post that in for anybody who wants to see that later as well. So Mr. Gary Pinkett, Stompy Stomp Stomp, he was actually, it's a small world by the way, and it turns out that he was involved with this because they held a competition for writing retro games. I hope Gary could join us later to explain a little bit about it. But I think these are the entries that people made. So people did like a game entry and they put these are some of their entries. So should we try some of those game entries? It looks really slick. So look, F-Zero. They basically said they're gonna, we're gonna make F-Zero, and that's a cracking game to try to pull off, isn't it, as an amateur? So let's see what they've done. So remember, all these games are written inside that environment, so all of the features. Whoa! Hang on, I did something there. Something a bit with the mouse. It's like you have to go in and out with the mouse if you want the mouse to sort of lock properly. You see how the mouse is in the top left? But I'm just gonna bring it here. Look at this thing. Definitely got the F-Zero music. Is this me playing? It might be. Okay. Forwards. What are the keys? Oh, you got different views? Oh no. Ah, it's WSD. Damn it! So, I believe this game whole system was written in something like 2005 or something. So you can imagine making this game in 2005 as an amateur. And you can see this is for a competition, right? So obviously rushed it in to do it, but dang, it's a really good good effort. I mean, honestly, if you spent a few more hours on this, play with the graphics, I think you've got a contender here. And apparently, I think because it's using standard libraries, the source code for this whole IDE and development system is available on GitHub. You could probably wrap it into any DLLs and things you need to be able to play multiplayer. So that would be really cool. And like Neil says, the main sprite is a bit crisp because it doesn't have the same aesthetic, does it? But you know what? Have a look, Neil. Think about it. They've actually gone through the effort of rendering it. They probably had to load up Caligari TrueSpace. Do you remember that? Caligari TrueSpace? Create a 3D model and then do ray tracing mode. They've spent a bit of time trying to get the graphics nice. But this was the era when people had... Remember Rise of the Robots? Whoa! Whoa!
Hello. This does not look like a game design screen.
Oh, hello, Mr. Dalton. Sorry, Mr. Dalton. We are in the process of just checking some of the entries to see what we could achieve.
Oh, no. Just say this is game research.
This is game research. So anybody in the chat while me and Mr. Dalton are catching up, please choose the next game to try from the list. F-Zero, Galaxian Space Invaders, Crystal Caves, Rainbow Islands, Wolfenstein, Big Mac PC, Super Probotector, Venus Flytrap, Gauntlet Reunion Demo, and Boo Man. So, Mr. Dalton, how has your week been?
It's not been too bad. It's not been bad at all. It's been a short week. So that's a good thing. Hey, Bazza.
Boo Man. Neil says he wants to try Boo Man.
Boo Man.
And Robert says Rainbow Islands.
Everyone loves Rainbow Islands.
Oh, it's a good game though, isn't it, Rainbow Islands? Well, Boo Man. Oh, hang on, it did work.
Oh, apparently I'm a bit quiet. Let me turn my microphone up.
It could be the mix. It could be my mixer.
Let me turn my Discord up. I've got my big mic on, so I might have got the volume.
The evil Babidi. Oh no, I couldn't read that one. While the fusion dance works, thus creating goat tanks, it seems this cocky little fellow can't defeat Majin Buu. The techniques of him don't seem to affect the evil creature. So it's probably an example.
Dragon Ball related. Is that volume better?
It sounds okay to me, but
that's actually, I can tell you a little bit about that. That is from the Majin Buu saga of Dragon Ball Z. And Gotenks is, after he's done a fusion dance, Gohan and... What is he eating? What is Majin Buu?
Maybe he was eating some chips or something.
Right. So, basically, it's two people's kids do a dance and they form into one being.
Okay. What the heck? Oh, I'm that guy in the top left corner, apparently.
Dalton. Sing or shut. What's on that? Let me just check my audio sounds alright.
Maybe you need to do some singing. You could do your finest impression of Dynamo from The Running Man. Dynamo! Oh, Neil, the best looped WAV has to be that one that I remember watching on an Angry Video Game Nerd, which was something like, was it called like Hong Kong 93 or something? Right, this is probably not one of the better entries. The next one was Rainbow Islands for Mr. Robert Taylor.
Hang on. I think I know the problem. I don't think you've got the right OBS selected to integrate the Discord stream properly because our pictures are not appearing.
Okay. I don't know what one has to do.
Don't you remember you had to select a certain Discord OBS transition scene thing?
There we go. I turned it off, actually. It's there. It's just not running, but it's on.
Okay.
Right. Okay. Oh, Craig, you should do that. The pasta attachment.
Craig, what about that Philips dedicated pasta maker that Techmoan reviewed? I think that's quite cheap now.
Oh, okay. Oh no, is there a bug here? There doesn't seem to be any background.
Well, that is, dear, the Philips Viva pasta maker. The issue there is Craig has a tiny kitchen.
Oh no. Yeah, I think this is glitched. That sucks though. It seems like a damn good effect. So far, Booman is winning. Let me give it a refresh. We could download it for MS-DOS. Play online. But this would be, if it's the source code for these are available, they might be nice to just pull and fix. Because the date of the remake, oh look here, Div Conversion by Ian Price was in 2002. So this is 17 years old, but the remake is 17 years old. So I'll forgive it for...
The actual game itself is 32.
Crikey. So I can forgive them for being a little bit glitched because they haven't ported it to the latest version of this IDE.
Baz is giving us fighting talk here. He's saying it's nearly as good as New Zealand Story.
Oh, I don't know about the old New Zealand Story. I never really liked that with the little arrows on the Kiwi dude. Right, one more, and then we'll have a look at the actual, system as it stands. I loved Super Probotector. Did you ever play that?
Or Contra, as
Or
it was also
Grisor.
Grisor.
Grisor was a pretty... I never really understood the Grisor, because it always sounded a bit too lame, as a sort of lame futuristic.
So here's a more interesting question for the chat. Raise your hand if we're going to see you next weekend in Manchester.
Raise your hand. How do they raise their hand in chat?
They can emote. I'm sure there's a hand emote. There's a hand emoticon.
And I do apologise. I still haven't, Andrew, got the special prize framed.
Oh, goodness me. See, Rob Taylor's figured out how to raise his hand.
Oh, he does. He does know.
See?
How do we do this? If to win this? How do you win this? If you collar me, you have to do something and collar me at the expo.
Ah, that's it. They've got to come up to you and say, you sent me yesterday what the text was.
It could be anything. I was just.
They've got to do that. Basically, the best Frank Butcher impression.
Pat! What have you done to me, Pat? It was like that, wasn't it? It was something similar.
Something like that, but I will say the first person to come up to you, dressed only wearing a giant bow tie and nothing else, wins on the spot.
They'll win so many things. Honestly.
They will. Possibly a night in Manchester cells as well.
Whoa. This is good, isn't it? Do you think they've just ripped all of the graphics and samples from the actual...
I'm sure they probably have.
How have they done it, though? Again, from back in day.
Crack the ROM or something.
Oh. Unfortunately, I can't figure out how you jump. Right shift. The worst position on a keyboard control to have a jump is a right shift for sure. Because it's left control for shoot. Not got enough hands here. But at least up isn't jump.
I did discover something though. The Premier Inn Central, as it's called, in Manchester, has no twin rooms.
Really?
They're all doubles. As in they've all got one double bed in.
That's an interesting turn of events.
It is.
So those of us who may be sharing a room...
You might be spooning.
We might be spooning. That's interesting, isn't it?
Are you the back of the spoon or the front of the spoon?
I don't mind. I do not mind at all. So just a quick one, just to show everybody. I've downloaded the Div Beta Nightly build. So this is not an official release. It's more of their in-dev releases. And it's weird. The only executable you get here is something called D. So if you've ever asked yourself, where is the D? It's clearly there. Um, and I think you just run it. It'll just work. You don't even have to install anything. So I'm going to double D this for a double dose. And look, there it comes up. And how wonderfully retro. Whoa! What did I do with it? Where did it go? Well, let's load it up again. I
Well,
don't
well, Bazza is saying the back of the spoon is never the position to opt for.
really. The
Mm,
back of the spoon. That means the
yeah.
one at the front.
No, I'd say the back of the spoon is the one curved at the back.
I don't know. I have to think
Hmm.
about that, how spoons work.
Everyone in the chat, what's your favourite position when you're spooning? Yeah, Baz is saying the one at the back is not his favourite. So everyone in the stream, if you're spooning with a gentleman in a Premier Inn double bed, what's your favourite position for spooning? It's an essential question in life, really, isn't it?
It is. I've just realized I just shut down my menu. So when this loads, you get presented with this rather groovy looking user interface, which in itself serves as like a whole operating system. I'm going to float our heads over here to the right, actually, of the stream so we can see the full area. And remember, I don't know anything about this really.
Okay, so we've got a few things in the chat here. We've got
Ooh.
Rob saying, what was the hotel we stayed at in London? That was the Ibis Canning Town, which was fantastic. Craig is saying his favourite spooning method is to get out of bed and leave his wife to it. She's like a 2-bar radiator. And to be fair, I know what you mean. I'm one of them people that I don't like to be touched at night when I'm sleeping. I really don't. I don't like being touched. I like my space.
You like the gap between you.
I do indeed. I do indeed.
So Neil says this looks like a Windows 98 install screen. Well, the thing
It
about this, Neil, is
does.
if you're running this, imagine this. This is running on DOS. You can run it on Raspberry Pis, everything, and it's. Well, I was speaking to one of the creators of this, and he said you should, because I was telling him about how old retro computers were so good because you just turn them on and they just worked right away, and you could start coding, right? And that's why. People are useless at coding now, and why it's so hard to get anybody interested because they all just want to load up Unity and draw a game. Um, so if you imagine this is on DOS, you could boot your DOS machine, have this on a floppy, and it boots straight into this, giving you a whole GUI. Because this is pre-Windows potentially, right? Let's have a look at the about. Well, 1998. I mean, it wasn't really pre-Windows, but it was certainly pre-Windows 95 or thereabouts, wasn't it?
I'd say the background art looks very much like a Windows 95 or 98 install screen, like Neil says.
I wonder if
It's
you could even change the background here. Look, interesting. Let's see what you can have. How do you? So it's got its own, it's even got its own sort of file system here, hasn't it? Its own file selector. I mean, I'm going to risk trying to load something. Private key. Oh no, did it crash? It crashed before I managed to share inadvertently my RSA private key. Bit
So
gnarly.
quickly, hello to Kevin Lee and hello to
Oh,
JJXB2004.
JJXB's here and Kevin.
And
Wahey.
a flock of sea cows says Little Spoon is remarkably good, but I do like being Big Spoon and holding close and squeezing. He's a romantic.
Ooh. So is the one we really though need to know is if Mr. Robert Taylor, what's his preference really?
Rob, do you prefer being the hugger or the huggy?
Hugga bugger.
Mm.
That- whichever way it pans out, I'm going to be looking forward to it.
Exactly. You're open minded. You don't mind.
I strongly suspect that it's going to
Rob says he likes to be the hugger, but his gut gets in the way.
oh, we'll work it out. It's going to be fine. It doesn't like any of my my pictures, so that was a failed effort then. Let's try one more time. Nope, that's it. Can't get the background. I obviously need to use an old-fashioned format.
And Rob has also confirmed that his wife is a furnace.
So I remember a system back in the day on DOS for playing MIDI music, and it was something called Band in the Box, and that came very much similar, where it had its own graphical interface, and it had these same sort of things, like you had your own clock, it had its own little trash can. It's so groovy. Calculator. Oh, that's not. I don't know. That's odd because it doesn't have a graphical interface on the calculator. Video mode. So I think people would have had to come up with this. I think it's currently using an SDL video driver, so it is transferable. Oh, so we can change all the window covers, explode the windows, memory map variables, all that stuff. So if, hey McBeam, how's it going? You got Band in the Box? Of course you do. It's a good system. And also like Visual Basic for DOS. Anyway, enough of that. I'm trying to figure out how this all works. So you've got program menu, palettes, maps, 3D maps. It's got built in. Remember in the Super Nintendo, Andrew, you had was it called Mode 7?
Mode 7, yes.
Yeah, it comes with Mode 7 and a 3D Mode 8 that they've brought in. So it's kind of exciting. Now, what I'll try to do though is we need to find something we can actually bring into it, don't we? To like as a demo program. Div DX game. I have a visitor. Hello. Hello, visitors. Oh dear, what's wrong?
Oh dear. Oh dear. Craig's wife doesn't have ovaries, apparently she has a nuclear reactor. And yes, there we go. Oh dear. Hopefully everything's all right with Dr. A in the fam.
Right, there we go. There was some family distress. Apparently all of the Minecrafts have been deleted.
Dear me.
And I don't know how one would do that. I'm trying to find a website with this bloody thing on it. How do I get some games? Do I need to go to Div Arena? This is where we meet Mr. Pinkett. He was an expert on this.
I'm not sure what Mr. Pinkett's up to tonight.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know. Let me see who's around.
It's got to be somewhere here. Work in progress.
Yes.
Billabong Racers. Okay, can we download a work in progress perhaps? Downloads. So when we say MS-DOS, is that basically a compiled one or... Hey Becky, hey Floating Fat Man!
Hello Becky, hello Floating Fat Man.
So that looks like an awful lot of sounds and graphic files, but also a compiled application. Downloads. Download this zip from GitHub to get, example programs. There we go. Improved assets, better organized with games and library files. Right, now we're cooking. Oh yes, Neil, that was old school, wasn't it? Did you have Amos though as well? You were doing some proper Amosing, weren't you? Is the stream frame rate low, Becky? Well, YouTube is complaining. It says video output low on my screen, so it tends to be when it does this. If you refresh your stream, it sometimes just sorts it out. No guarantees it is going to do that right now, though. Right, so div support, we're going to do extract all. Programming streams, though, Andrew, are brutal, especially in a programming language you don't know.
I just can't program. That's my problem.
Really?
I can script, but I can't program.
You can script, but you can't program. Well, what's the difference? Don't you have any logic in your scripts?
I do. I mean, I can write PowerShell scripts, that kind of thing.
Well, that's programming, isn't it? If you've got if then, bit
Yeah,
of
I know
logic.
that, but it's more akin to, it's not like proper programming.
Oh, Floating Fat Man says it's lagging now. Lagging.
Mm.
Let me see if I can sort something. I wonder if it's because I'm doing this file copy that's inducing.
Mm. Your download is killing the stream. You're not downloading anything, are you?
Oh, actually, Chrome thinks it's still downloading even though it's stopped.
Mm.
Let me kill it.
Oh, now the stream's gone all pausey. There we go. Are your kids like Minecrafting the...
No.
You deleted that to stop them.
It's almost done. I mean
Some people are saying 144p on your... Oh, you are dropping in your...
my unzip thing, Andrew, is running at 200 kilobits per second. It's like my whole desktop is gone.
Something's hammering in your machine because your stream keeps freezing.
Yeah, okay, let me have a look. Could it be that DivX thing? Yeah, we're at 100% CPU.
Yeah. Oh, McBeam says he's fine, so that's okay.
I'm going to close that DivDX thing until my... Okay, right. Relegate it to a single core. Ah, that's a good idea. But look, there's something weird here, Becky. That even the oh, it's starting to speed up now. No, gone down.
No, people say maybe someone's re-downloading Minecraft.
You could be right. I'm going to send that WhatsApp message. Can you please ensure the kids are not streaming
Porn.
watching YouTube? There. Right, well, it says it's finished now, so we're going to do the Control-Alt-Del. Let's see what the PC thing says. So, why am I at 99% CPU, honestly? Is this the new OBS?
Have you offloaded any of the transcoding for your OBS?
I don't know, but look, OBS is just eating it. How can it be 100% on 8 cores? I wish I didn't upload the new version. So it basically said when you had the option, do you want to download the new OBS? Just say no.
Something
Right.
cleared up now. Oh.
Right, let's see now. Hopefully we're back in bloody work. Yeah, OBS is only using apparently 31% now. This is terrible, though.
There we go. That's better. You're actually moving now.
I'm actually moving. I think it's time to start wiping this machine and beginning again. Right, so we actually have finally, though, extracted that folder. So we have this div support folder, and it has some examples in it of games. Oh, loads of them. Okay, good. So we're going to load up now our application and give it a go. Let's see. McBeam says, "What is this music?" I don't know what music McBeam's listening to.
Do you need some stream advice from the Stream Master?
Oh, I was just about to invite you in, sir. How are we diddling?
How's it going?
I'm sort of like, I really shouldn't be in this call because I'm like really right in there with the editing, but it's all good. I need time. Let me just go close my door so I don't wake up my kids. Hang on. Yeah.
Oh, it says live stream offline on mine as well when I
No.
refresh.
Well, you're there.
Yeah, that's what I saw. Live stream offline.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. You're not live. Hang on. Let me refresh. Oh, live stream offline. You are offline.
OBS.
Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about. What music he can hear? I can't do nothing. You're offline.
There we go.
There it is. Yeah, I literally just saw you guys in there, so I thought I'd pop in. Oh, something's happening.
Oh, okay.
There you go. You've reappeared. There we go. So we've got a special guest on the stream. We've got DJ Slope himself.
Hello. It's DJ Slope himself, not someone else. That's me.
That's right.
I thought you said itself, Andrew, like he is an it.
No.
A force of nature that is DJ Slope.
I don't really exist. I'm just an alter ego of someone else.
That's right.
Did you
So, Dan, can you tell? There's been a few people confused about what you're doing at Play Expo Manchester.
Yeah. No, that's all good because I'm actually still technically working on it. So basically, I am doing it's sort of like a pub quiz, but it's entirely visual based. So don't expect any what year did the whatever come out, and what's Shigeru Miyamoto's favorite color. It's going to be like proper all visual based stuff. There's going to be 4 rounds with a 5th round, which is just technically for fun. There's going to be prizes given away. I don't know what they are yet, but they're going to be pretty good. From Console Passion, the guy who actually runs the actual event itself, so he's going to put some decent prizes up. And entirely visual based. It's good. It's exciting stuff, and it's all heavily edited by me. And just to make it a little bit cooler, each round is going to be hosted by a different YouTuber that's never been. Maybe one would have been at that show before, but almost all of them have never been to a UK con before. So we're talking people from all over. Really cool. Big names. I don't want to spoil it, but it's exciting. No, actually, I'm saying you know what it is, Andrew, because Andrew Dalton in this call and Andy, the guy running the actual expo, the only 2 people that have seen some of the questions and helped me out with some of it. So other than that, this is your chance to show up people like Nostalgia Nerd if he comes along and whoever else, because none of these people know what I'm about to show off. Come along and show them up.
Is it all very family friendly?
Oh, 100%. 100% family friendly. There's a few like silly innuendos, but it's like part of the fun. There's no
a little bit
nothing
for the
rude at all.
A little bit for the grown-ups.
Nothing worse than a carry-on film.
No, definitely not.
That's probably the way to describe it. But this is different. Saying no, Dan, this is different from your sort of your Antiques Roadshow YouTube panel. It's not the same event, is it?
No. They're going to be 2 different. They're on different days, as far as I'm aware. We're just all working together now to try and work out exactly what days they're going to be on. I'm pushing for my quiz to be around about midday-ish on Saturday, hopefully, only because it will give me enough time to tally up the results and then we can announce the winner later on. And yeah, hopefully the Antiques Roadshow thing, which is going to be amazing, by the way, is going to be hopefully on the Sunday, but regardless, it's going to be on different days from each other. And the Antiques Roadshow thing, the idea of that is people are going to bring over the craziest, weirdest things. We didn't put down video game related thing, so I think people are actually going to bring some really weird stuff that isn't even video game related, but it's all good. Bring what you want along, and just sit in bafflement trying to work out what the hell you've brought up, reviewing it badly, as we all do.
That sounds excellent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I'm excited. It's good. I've just stopped editing for the quiz show a little bit now to continue working on my weekend's video, and then I'm going to go back to it. But yeah, not to plug my channel on your channel, but yeah, if you keep an eye on my channel, I'll be doing a proper announcement about it all. Hopefully tomorrow I'll get a video out, just a mini video explaining what's actually happening at this con. And another one, I'm going to another con that gets announced tomorrow as well.
Oh, that's good. So have you got a busy schedule for the summer lined up for all these different events and things?
Well, obviously we got Play. I don't mind saying it here. To be fair, if you follow me on social media, you'll know what events I'm talking about anyway. But so we got Play Expo in Manchester this weekend. About 7 days, isn't it?
Proper
close.
Really soon.
Everyone's going to be there, which is great. Everyone in this call plus thousands more. I've got my first ever con abroad,
Oh
which is in Norway.
yeah, I think I did see something about that. That looked really interesting. Is that an interesting dimension to have a foreign con?
Oh my god, it's incredible! The guy goes because I'm just nervous. I'm gonna because normally I rock up with a crew of other YouTubers, so it's easier. If people don't know me, they'll know Kim or they'll know Top Out or Octavius, whoever, you know. But this one, it's just me, and I'm like, oh my god, you know. But apparently, I've got a very big following in Norway. I didn't know that.
Really?
You know, all I can see is just the percentage of people that would watch my content from Norway, but that number's going to be less than UK and America, obviously. So I mean, I don't know if it's a big percentage or not, but they did tell me that they're bringing down some of the bigger Twitch players that are going to be there as well, and they're about 80 to 90,000. So it makes me
Mm.
feel like I'm big because I'm bigger than their biggest, but on the world, you know, ladder, I'm obviously nowhere near that high. You get what I mean?
Oh, it's it's really insane. Like the US, if you like YouTube, it's like you're talking like in the millions.
Oh, big time, yeah,
And it kind of
big time.
what's weird is what I don't understand is how is it just geographically you think because the US is such a big place and they're kind of watching their own? Um,
Yes and no. I mean, I'll tell you one thing. I mean, I won't say who, but there are other YouTubers that obviously I talk to and stuff like that are very similar to me. That one of them may be on a panel with me. We obviously all talk about different ways to be able to promote ourselves and all that. All the behind the scenes boring stuff that us YouTubers need to talk about. I tend to be the one that has the biggest American percent wise
mm.
audience out of the ones I'm talking about. I don't know everyone's, but most of the UK crew seem to have a bigger UK following than I do.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
you know what I mean? I'm not saying like I have bigger numbers than them do, but on a percent wise, seem to a lot more of my content, a lot more of my followers follow me from America than anywhere else in the world. Where I know others that are a bit more the other way around.
I do wonder if that's because you're very Sega centric in a lot of ways.
I think it is. Sega's blown up. Everyone wanted to. It's not a bad thing, People wanted to jump onto the Nintendo bandwagon, and everyone wanted to be a Nintendo angry video game nerdy sort of person to begin with. So it was just Nintendo. But now it seems to be there's so many people that have jumped out of the woodwork. I had a Genesis growing up. Like I'm like, did you? Like that's crazy because when you look at all these YouTube channels, everyone just seems to not know who Sega are. I mean, in the earlier ones, and everyone just seems to love Nintendo. It's really bizarre. But yeah, I mean, I obviously was a massive Sega and Amstrad kid, so that's what my channel primarily focuses around.
I think there's also I think the kind of nostalgia market as a percentage of YouTube is actually pretty small as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my kids like watch all these kind of crazy, Fortnite stuff, right? And those are just massive channels.
Yeah, huge,
And
absolutely enormous.
in our offices, there's actually another YouTube channel. Actually has an office next to us, and you're like, wow, they must be pulling in some money because it's kind of these are quite expensive offices we rent. And their channel is really young, like where it's just under 2 years old, and they've got
Yeah,
hundreds of subs. Sorry,
oh,
hundreds
that's
of
insane.
thousands of subs.
Oh yeah, big
And
time.
so it's like imagine being instantly in that really super short space of time being full time. But their subject
Oh, it's
matter,
insane. Yeah.
it's a different area. It's kind of a more, like if you're into politics or science debate or that kind of thing, because that's what it is. The
Hmm.
audience for it is humongous because it can be kind of anyone. Whereas
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
so yeah, I think it'd be really interesting if you ever saw the figures from YouTube on what's the different demographics for each kind of subject.
People too tend to change their views on things, and I do. You always have that worry, like what's a Minecraft channel going to do when Minecraft isn't the big thing anymore?
Turn into a
Well, no, so,
Terraria channel.
well, no, we know that. What was it? Was it Rob Plays done? He changed into
Yeah,
it.
that's exactly what I was about to bring up. Yeah, Rob Plays sounds like a Let's Play channel, but he, I mean, you would have to go back stupidly long to find any kind of video game content on his channel. He is entirely about Disneyland.
Oh,
That is
And
all he.
and some
Oh,
other thing.
yeah, and other theme parks. Yeah, of course. But yeah, like Disney, Universal, that sort of thing. But yeah, but he sounds like a Let's Play channel.
Yeah.
His logo up until quite recently was changing it during the merger, I suppose, of what he wanted to change, was a picture of Mickey Mouse's hands holding a controller, but he just never played video games. I listen to his podcast from time to time, and he still definitely does, but he just didn't. That wasn't what he wanted to focus his channel on, and that's the danger of calling your channel. You know, I mean, it's like me, Slopes Game Room. What if I stop doing gaming?
well, it's a good point actually, because I was, I was having a little think the other day because I've got so many videos on my channel. I was like, I'm going to cull these, yeah, because I want to focus and all this. But I've got 1,300 videos right now. 1,300 videos.
Isn't that a magnitude more than you've put up, Dan?
Yeah, I'm about 500. It's hard for me to see. It's better if someone else tells me how many videos I got, because I get to see all of the ones that are like unlisted, which are like half edited things that I never finished or whatever. I think I'm about 5.
But I think the weird thing is that if you go through those, you're going to go, I'm going to cull some of these old videos that don't get much. So when you put in a search filter and you say, I'm going to get rid of videos that have less than, I don't know, 500 views or whatever, when it turns out you haven't got that many, that could be maybe 10% of your channel. And then all of your other views and revenue and everything are coming across all of those hundreds of videos. If you try to delete them, you'd have to delete. It would be like channel suicide. So you decide if you want to focus on something new, do you start again or a second channel? But they're brutal, aren't they? Second channels.
Yeah, it's hard. Some people. Rerez is doing quite well with his second channel. I don't know if you know the guy Rerez Shane. He's a really, really good YouTuber.
Yeah.
He's very much like the very news channels do very well. The way I see it is, new channels do very well very quickly. Be interested about, was Mortal Kombat 11 5 years later down the line, unless you're doing it for research purposes. Well, I say 5 years down the line, even 5 weeks down the line, it'd be like, pointless. But I mean, I tend to play it safe in that regard. Where I do nothing. I try to make everything I make evergreen, besides the odd, record unboxing or whatever. But they're very easy videos to make, obviously. But the problem is they take, I say twice as long, probably about 15, 20, 100 times as long as a news video would. They don't get as many views, but they stay relevant for longer. So you've got to weigh up what's good and what's not,
And I guess at the end of the day, it still boils down to just doing what you enjoy, isn't it? Because otherwise, why are you bothering? I know it's nice. A lot of people, if you can become a professional YouTuber, a full-time YouTuber.
Yeah.
But realistically, I think for most people, it's not really a good business to be in.
It is worrying, I mean, I've obviously I chatted about it for about 6 months constantly, but yeah, I took the jump to full time about Decemberish, and it was a scary moment, because although I was able to put twice as much content out, or at least I imagined in my mind that's what I'd be able to do, would that bring in twice what I'd need to be able to support the family and all that sort of thing? So there's a lot of worries, and
yeah, and I guess you don't want to.
This year so far has had its ups and downs, isn't it?
Oh, right. Well, the other thing is also you don't want to cut corners because you're freaking out. Do you see what I mean? I need to pay the mortgage this month. It's not like, oh, quick, I got to get a video out this week, and because then that way your quality could suffer, couldn't it? Because you're not focusing on the right thing.
Absolutely. I'm honestly, I'm not just saying this. I always have. Oh my God, my Google Drive has just shot up. Like, I keep bringing up random numbers, but maybe 20-fold since I've quit to go full time with YouTube. Because with so many unfinished scripts, so every basically I'm going to have this video that I'm working on for the weekend finished by tomorrow, and tomorrow I'll wake up, which tomorrow is a work day for me. So I would basically sit there in front of my Google Drive. What are we going to do next? And I just sit there. I choose the one that feels right for me, and I just go with it. And that's just how it is. I never feel like fuck. What am I going to do next? Because I normally have a good 5 or so scripts where I'm okay. That's got a good enough start to be able to continue.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I guess there's still that element of it being like an art. So you still will have to wait for the mood to take you, and that's probably the biggest difference. You know, like when you didn't have the stresses of trying to make a paycheck from it. Potentially, you
Yeah.
were like, okay, I'm going to make a video tonight just because you can be asked to do it. You want to do
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it.
Well, I always remember if you want to talk about money as such. I'm not going to say what I earn or anything like that, but I remember Metal Jesus once before he went full time. He said that his wife. I mean, I don't know how true all of this is, but he said he wouldn't be able to go full time until he would earn a particular amount of money a month. I can't remember what that figure was or anything like that, but basically he needed to earn a particular amount of money every month for I can't remember what 3 months or 6 months or something like that, and then he'd know that that's now what he has as a baseline to be able to go full time. And I made that sort of same thought in my mind. I went, right, I need to be able to earn this, and I just so all of this worrying I had after I quit, I actually had that well before I quit.
Oh, right.
You know.
Well, it depends. It's like how people set goals for themselves, isn't it? I mean, when I
Yeah.
started YouTube, all I wanted to do was hit 10,000, right? Go down
Yeah.
and so I could hang out legit in the YouTube space in London and use all the equipment and all of that.
I've still not signed up to that. Every time I go past it, I'm like, I really should sign up to that.
But this is the funny thing. It's like when I got there to that point, I realized I didn't really wasn't into it. I didn't need it. Do you see
Yeah,
what I mean?
absolutely. Yeah.
And it's the same. I speak to people because I do like a bit of sport and exercise, and it's the same when people don't have goals. So, like, let's say you had signed up for a London Marathon, right? Which is something you might well do or might have done for all I
Hmm.
know, right? You'll train for that.
I'm
You
actually signing up to a Disney Run. It's
perfect
my equivalent to the London Marathon.
Disney run.
21K Disney, running around Disney and Disney Studios.
Oh, that sounds amazing. Right. So you
Yeah.
sign up for that, right? And you're going to train for it and do all of that, and then you're going to do it, and then after that, you're like, ah, you're done. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like you're
yeah.
not going to be, oh, I'm going to sign up now for another marathon or another race. So yeah, I think you got to set yourself new goals, and I was so if sort of if like Metal Jesus all that rocks. I mean, think of like people like GameSack.
Yeah.
I mean, those are like amazing channels, but they also have really good full-time careers too. So
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they have big jobs outside. I mean, like people like Metal Jesus came from the Sierra days, didn't he? He's had a lot of background in the actual gaming industry and all this other stuff. I mean, people like Larry, he's worked in tech before he's done YouTube. Yeah.
Well, Daniel, we've only got a question from the chat for you. On
Yeah,
basis
but
of what we were
everyone, I'm
talking
just
about earlier.
reading down that bit. It is live, by the way.
It is
definitely
live.
So the question is, Dan, if you were at say a Premier Inn where you booked to share a room with a male friend, and it turned out there was only one double bed in the room as opposed to it being a twin room,
Right.
would you be the spooner or the spoonee?
I'd sleep on the floor.
Really? Why is
No,
that?
no, I wouldn't. It depends who I'm with. Top
Let's
end
say
and
Larry.
tail it.
Let's say Larry.
um, no, that would be lovely, wouldn't it?
He'd roll over in the morning, look into each other's eyes, and go, "Hello, you."
um, that's just what it's like when me and Larry meet up. We just do nothing but YouTube phrases to each other. He's like, "Hello, you," and I'm like, "What do I say?" I don't know, like, "Hey there, guys," and stuff like that. And that's just how we talk to each other, like for a good couple of
Do you
hours.
say, do you ever sit down in a restaurant and Larry just starts looking at the menu and goes, "Oh, I
I've
fancy
never been
some apple
anywhere.
crumble," and then you go, "I think we're getting a little ahead of ourselves."
I've never met Larry anywhere. Oh no, of course I went to a convention with him. Actually, what am I saying? I have been elsewhere than in Larry's house.
Which you don't spoon him.
Yeah, there was no spooning involved in his house, or was there?
Oh, Neil's got a question. He says, "Can anybody hear code properly?"
I can't. No. You can, Andrew.
I wouldn't say I can code properly, but I definitely can. I'm like a coding diva. Although I'm just like trying these demos in this particular language right now. Oh, there you go, a bit of thrust.
So, Dan, have you got anything else planned this year, convention-wise? You're just doing all the Play Expos and.
I mean, I'll probably go to along to all the Play Expos unless there's like some family wedding or something in them, happening at the same time, which I think one of them does collide, but I'm not sure. But yeah, I'm probably going to go to all of the Play Expos. I am actually in talks about going to Gamescom in Germany. That's quite a new thing. It should be really cool. I've always wanted to go there. The big one, I've always wanted to go to an American con. I'd love to go. I mean, like I say, I've got most of my audience. I say most, a heavy percentage of my audience is American.
Do you know any American cons? What ones people might go to?
Well, like Too Many Games and stuff like that. I can't think what they're Magfest. That's another one I always hear about. Magfest would be good actually because they've got they do like DJing as well. So they could double book me.
Would you ever consider going to like a expo on like Kickstarter project or something? Try to break into that. But you could be an ambassador for it because you've done so much research on it. You could be like a consultant when someone says, "I'm interested in maybe putting some money down on this Kickstarter."
I'll tell you what, I know a lot about Kickstarter and stuff, but you join on my my Discord. Some of the people in my Kick Scammer room.
Oh yes,
Lobster
mashing on keyboard. I think he must just spend every day going through every Kickstarter.
He has little charts for himself that he makes up. He's like, okay, so this one did this amount last week, but as predicted, it's up to here. And I'm like, but he's not really talking to anyone. He's just posting, relaying like. Probably the most
like
insane information. Yeah, it really is. If you want to know the ins and outs of everything Kickstarter, you got to join in and just go and. I say chat to him. He won't chat back. He'll just continuously give you Kickstarter information. It's unreal. Give that man a Kickstarter job. But
so is he giving you some research? You just like tapping into that?
Oh, he's definitely posted things in the past that that I've unravelled a little bit more. Primarily, most of the time with Andrew. Yeah,
I think the thing about Kickstarters, and this is something Dan and I say especially when we do Kickstarter live, and I'm fielding fresh ones coming in. An interesting kick scammer is someone who hasn't just ran away with the money.
Yeah, that ship sailed. Sadly, it's okay to chuck. If I'm doing a top 5, it's okay to put one of those in. But if you do 5 and then they ran away with the money and then they ran away, it's just not. I say it's really bad. I mean, obviously, I want to cover them for the sake of the campaign, but they're not interesting videos anymore.
If it's they ran away with the money and then they opened up a gold mine with slaves in Africa or something, then that's
when it becomes a bit more interesting.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you look through my most popular Kick Scammer videos, they're all ones that aren't focused around that. To be fair, I don't think I have any that focus around with that. But yeah, you've got well, actually, the most popular one probably is the woman that died on the submarine.
That was a grim one, though.
That was a pretty grim. What else was there?
That sounds like one I haven't watched yet. You remember the title, and we can we'll have a look at that. Spool that.
I think it was just I done horrific Kickstarters. I think it was called
horrific Kickstarters. So that'll be something to watch tonight.
Yeah, it's a proper grim one. That one.
So yeah, you got that one. There was one where the woman believed the son was talking to her, so she had to stop her board game. Obviously Bob's Game, which is probably my favourite kick scam I've ever done, just because that was I was so happy with that story because I was learning it as I was scripting it, and I remember I just keep running over to my wife, and spoiler alert for people that have seen it, but like, oh my god, it was made up, and different things that kept it kept coming to me as I was trying to work through it and stuff like that, and going through so many different Wayback Machine news sites with people talking about it and old forums that don't exist, just to try and find out exactly what was going on. And when it all just clicked together, I was like, this is going to be the best fucking episode. I was so happy with it. I literally that was before I quit to go full time, and that was one of the few times I was like, everyone out the house, I've got to focus to get this video done because it's just expanded from a 10-minute one to a full on 30-40 minute. This is so much here. I was so happy with that video. That's my favorite.
Had some really solid Kickstarters in the past year, though. You had some absolutely huge ones. I mean, what about the guy where it got a little too close to home, where he tracked you down?
Oh my god, yeah. I spoke about that one at a con. Whitman whatever his name was. Yeah, he. So for people that don't know, so there's this guy that the title of the video was the Kickstarter scum. He probably didn't like that ran away with your money 6 times so far. The kicker is when you watch it, you realise he's actually done it about 8 times, but the other 2 are a little bit hazy. So I said 6 to be safe. The idea was he'd done one Kickstarter, it failed. It succeeded. Sorry, but I think behind the scenes he wasn't able to actually get the money together to finish it. So he would start another one, and it went round and round and round, like until eventually he had so many Kickstarters, and he just had no way of finishing any of them. But the interesting thing about the guy is, he's a hardcore entrepreneur. He's got his own like comic book shop. He's got he's in movies. I'm talking proper big movies. He's in like one of the Fast and Furious movies. He's in Walking Dead. We're talking as an extra in the background, but he has had he's had a line here and there. He's an extra, but an extra of the highest caliber. And he's also a bit of a Kickstarter bastard. That video done very well. That was the same month I put that video out as the woman that ran around the sun. That was a good month for me. They just fall in your lap sometimes. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, but no, some great kick scammers out there. It's just insane. But you do start to get a feel when you read them, even at funding stages. There's a couple that are being watched. I've already sent to Dan that if you apply. Sometimes if you just apply a little bit of logic and a little bit of brain power to what they're advertising, separate yourself from the hype, you know something's going to go wrong.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, about that. The first thing you need to do before you finally find your Kickstarter, you want to back it, no matter how how incredible this property is. Like say it's you get some of these board game ones, that have like insane properties. Look at the Friday the 13th stuff. When you need to start looking into who's running the Kickstarter, what the Kickstarters they've run in the past. As soon as you start looking in there, they're just instant ticks to make sure that they're not scammy people. Because the amount of people that start up a Kickstarter, even though their last 2 or 3 have failed as well, it's insane.
And if you're going to back anything at a reasonable level, it's even slightly technical, do a tiny bit of research. Because then you'll realise that what some of the things they're saying in these Kickstarters, these amazing technical revelations people are coming up with, just plain won't work. Like the magic water bottle down with solar panels on it.
Yeah. You got is that the one? The water, the filling up itself water.
That's the one. That's the one. And also, they proved it wasn't hygienic as well. Do you know about that one, Andrew?
Yeah, I do. Because effectively, they can't work because they just without breaking the laws of thermodynamics, because they'll never generate enough energy. I mean, I'm just looking here actually at Kickstarter right now because I just thought I haven't been here a while. And here's something. Look, Hot Pocket, instant heat and where you need it most, and that's got nearly $500,000 pledged of like several thousand times over what they wanted. Hang on, look at that, a £7,000 goal. So instantly, though, Dan, that sounds to me like one where you'd be already going, this is like a high-tech-ish type thing, and they only want $7,000 to get this project off the ground.
It does depend. Let's see a bit more about it. It's a Hot Pocket. How does it work?
No, let me open it up. I've looked away from.
So you preheat your sleeping bag, turn it on. So it's a sleeping bag preheater, and then you can unzip it, and it folds flat, and you can use it as a hot water bottle. And it can charge your phone, so it's battery powered. No, but honestly, I'll give you I think it's a great idea. I think it can work. It's just literally a resistor wire and a lithium pack, right? Makes sense. I mean, that's kind of cool if it does work. But my complaint with this one would be that literally to get any product off the ground for $7,000 is going to be a challenge.
Well, what you got to remember is with Kickstarter, you can't run a Kickstarter until you've got a working prototype. So technically, they should already be there.
Rephrase it. You shouldn't, or you're not supposed to.
You're not. Yeah. It is there. Yeah. If you go over to Indiegogo and some guy's showing you this incredible contraption that does this, that, and everything else, that seems very unbelievable, it's very likely that it is unbelievable and it doesn't exist. Where on Kickstarter, they've got that extra gate they have to get through, basically.
But I would suspect
it doesn't mean it's for sure. But
what does it say here? What you're what are you paying for though? If this is successful, what's the goal? What does it is it clearly listed somewhere on what you would expect them to achieve for that
Yeah, it should
money?
be should be in the
first,
pledge.
if you go over to the top right,
Okay.
go up the screen. I'm obviously seeing a little bit further behind, but basically, if you look where the pledges are, you'll see where the estimated delivery date is, and then once that'll give you firstly an idea on when it should come out. Obviously, if things get delayed, that's not the biggest problem. But obviously, if it's stupidly long into the future, then kiss your money goodbye most of the time. And then you've got at the very bottom, you've got the risks and challenges.
Okay.
But again, the risks and challenges are a section that are filled in by the person that's actually writing the Kickstarter. So risks and challenges. No, I don't think Nintendo will come after me, for making a game called Super Wario Brothers. Yes, they will. They can write whatever they want down there, basically. But there's your
So I can see here.
guarantees by the person.
Yeah, I can see here. So this is interesting. So this is their sixth campaign, and they say they've been 9 years in business. So the things that they say are their challenges are the things that I think are the bits they probably ought to have addressed first. So they say battery design. So they know nothing about batteries, but we're crazy excited about. It says opening a mold and creating an electronically controlled battery bank. So tooling, say for molding and stuff like that, is already soft tooling is going to cost you 10 grand minimum.
Yeah.
And that's it without minimum order quantities of getting that going. So, okay, so already it's way more than their original estimate. Fabric, they're saying that they're not sure, it's the second longest lead time in our supply chain. And if the produced fabric does not meet our high quality, then it'll have to be redone. So it's like, well, surely you already know where you're going to buy the fabric, who's going to make that for you. So I don't know. It's just a bit weird. I think they almost take it on a punt, though, don't they? It's a bit like eBay selling your car on eBay for 99p starting thing, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Probably if they only just make their goal, some of these things, they'll definitely not give you. You'll definitely not get what you expect.
The other things you need to look at as well are obviously the comments. See if people are all going crazy in the comments, because obviously there's a lot of people kicking off. It might, oh yeah, actually that does make sense. It is a bit stupid, and then also you want to actually click their name, and you can see what else they've done as well, and all that sort of stuff. And if all of their other 5 campaigns have all been successful, then yeah, I'd probably put some money down on someone that's done 5 successful campaigns in the past.
I think
I've
another
seen
thing as well,
many.
particularly on Indiegogo, as we've discovered, Dan, through the live streams, Google image search is your friend.
Oh my god, yeah. Wow, yeah.
We found a fair few people where they have found some tat on AliExpress is the usual one, and they'll claim they're developing it as a Kickstarter.
And they've sort of made. Do they even repackage it a little bit? Hopefully.
They do. They use the promotional images off AliExpress, but they put up these incredibly deluxe promotional videos. Remember that smartwatch, the Android smartwatch?
Yeah.
This guy was advertising this revolutionary new Android smartwatch that was groundbreaking, blah, blah, blah. All this real swish video he'd done with it, showing like the design process and all this stuff. We found the exact same watch was available on AliExpress for $49.
That's insane. And I mean, something I always found on Kickstarter, Indiegogo, right? If you wanted something that was going to be successfully funded, it seemed keyrings were your bag. Keyrings and wallets.
Oh no!
Oh my god, wallets are insane. They're type wallet in. There's about 50 of them, always active campaigns. They're everywhere. People love it, and I didn't realize I brought down the wrath
of the pin,
Thanos.
Pin badge, didn't you?
No, not pin badge, with enamel pins. That's it.
That's them, the enamel pins,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
I basically made a video taking the piss out of a few Christmas Kickstarters, and I went, if enamel pins are your thing, my god, look at this crap. There's so many of them. Little did I know, there's a hardcore enamel pin community out there, and they came hard down on.
But they don't respect copyright.
Yeah, it's just I don't really like. It's just not my thing. I don't really get them. I mean, whatever. People don't get Funko Pops, but I had a good couple of hundred of them until I sold them. Yeah, just difference of opinion. But little did I know, you don't want to fuck off the enamel pin community. Right.
But this is like, there's an insane one here I'm looking at here, which says Superthotics, right? Superthotics, the first affordable and customizable orthotic, right? Those little things you put in your shoes to stop your fallen arches from hurting when you're running, right? They work wonders. They're amazing, yeah? But you can go to Superdrug and buy them for a tenner. Why are
Right.
nearly 2,000 people pledging 81 grand for this to happen? It's bonkers.
Because it's Superdrug, they haven't got a snazzy video that sells it.
Oh, exactly.
Is-
It really, really is that.
A
And
picture speaks 1,000 words, and the video speaks 1,000,000 pictures.
it is like that, isn't it? This is almost like a QVC, isn't it? It's
Oh, it's so QVC, so
Yeah.
QVC.
well.
We've really advanced as a world, I suppose. You know, someone trying to, that accidentally knocks over the mop and then like needs a new mop, and then super mop comes through the door to give you this new fuzzy mop that does this other thing. But wait, but order now and you get 5 other small mops. And we've moved on to actually pretty hard to say no to good, well-made Kickstarter videos, and the amount of companies that work on it. There are so many really well-made, really well going video companies out there that make that their whole job is just making Kickstarter campaign videos. And then there's
wow.
also companies out there that will heavily promote your thing, but then take a 40% chunk off the end. Insane companies out there. There's so many. If you set up a Kickstarter, you wait until the amount of marketing emails you get. It's unreal. The amount of people I know that have started campaigns, and you just get bombarded with sales from all these like Kickstarter companies that are here to help you.
Really, I almost imagine that would be fun just to go through Kickstarter to try to. I'll go through the technical one and see what you can find that just already exists, and you could just literally do a video. You can literally go and buy this right now. Here it is on eBay. Just go there.
Yeah,
And
absolutely. Well, I did my recent one, the dog one. The dog one I done where what was it? It was like this chewable toothbrush thing for dogs, which is a great idea. It's completely readily available everywhere, but this particular model was slightly different apparently. But no, it wasn't, because you can go and buy that on Amazon and everything as well. In fact, the actual company that made this knockoff one, which is exactly the same as one you could buy off AliExpress and all that, ended up selling them on eBay and Amazon before the backers got them as well. It's so crazy.
Well, do you remember the little Alf wrapping paper cutter?
Yes, God, yeah. You can. So the story behind that one, it was a fucking incredible design. It's one of those designs that it's all into our arts and crafts. I showed it to my wife. She's like, "That's amazing. We need it." It's basically, it looks like almost a full circle of a toilet roll tube. This little plastic toilet roll tube. You roll it over your wrapping paper for Christmas, and when you slide it down, you get a perfect cut, and it's just easy.
oh,
And
that's
I'm
a good
like,
idea.
that's really fucking clever. And then you go on AliExpress and you realize it's already available. So you can go and buy it and you can get it in time for Christmas. But the guy that made the Kickstarter that basically ripped off the idea, it may have even been the exact same one. He definitely used the same promotional images from AliExpress and get his done by Christmas. So all these people that bought it months in advance to get it ready for Christmas, yeah, you can get it in like February. I don't even know if it ever got delivered.
No, I just checked. They started shipping this week.
Right, okay. Wrap your Christmas presents for 2019.
That's right.
I
That's right.
think
But
I think the stream's like shit in the bed again at the minute, which is a shame because I've just found here there's a most random thing, which is this Music from the Heart of Siberia, our 8th album, right?
oh, mate, don't even go into the film, music, and book section of Kickstarter.
But
You no.
what I'm thinking
Yeah,
is, right,
I'll tell you-
if it's an all or nothing, right? Let's say if it's an all or nothing and it sounds a bit lame and it's got a really far goal, you kind of go, I'd put $10 on it. You can't lose because you're not going to win, and even if you won it, it'd be like, well, you felt you've made somebody's day.
I'll tell you what. Now I've had so many people now. That, can I see what one you've pledged and stuff like that? It used to be a decent amount of things that I've pledged. Some got there and some didn't. But now my history is just completely destroyed because every time I see one that looks like it's definitely going to fail and it's definitely going to get picked up by Nintendo or whoever it may be, I put $1 down because I know it will never reach its goal. But then that way, at least I've got access to the backers only messages and stuff like that in case they ever one day want to do a video on it. For instance, one of the ones I've done recently, Pokemon World 3D. It was basically a World of Warcraft ripoff, but it was reskinned with Pokemon characters. And I was like, yeah, I'll put £1 down on that. Blizzard/Nintendo will take that down, and I want to see how this guy kicks off if and when he ever does an update.
When it eventually hits the fan.
Exactly.
Did you ever see that there was some really amazing Metroid type game that some guys made? I don't know if you ever saw that.
You talking about other Metroid 2? I think it was called. Another Metroid remake, another Metroid 2 remake, AM2R. It's called
AM2R, and it looks amazing. And
I don't think it was a Kickstarter though.
Maybe it wasn't, yeah. But what I thought was just bizarre with some scenarios like that is why don't those companies like literally just buy the IP? You've got these guys who've written that. You could just
you'd never be able to buy Metroid off of Nintendo, would you?
No. Why don't Nintendo buy it off them and say, fine, we'll just put it on like the virtual console or something because it's awesome.
Well, I mean, there's a million reasons. Isn't there? I mean, some of these people do it for the sheer. I mean, look at that Commodore 64 Nintendo thing recently. Nintendo take it down, okay, but if I wanted to go play it, I can go and find it, and that guy's still got what he's wanted out of it. He's still proven to himself that he can make a very good. If people don't know what I'm talking about here, there's a Super Mario Brothers NES game. The original Super Mario Brothers, like the most popular Mario game ever, essentially. Some guys made a port of it for the Commodore 64, completely unofficially, and Nintendo took it down. Everyone's in their right to do what they needed to do there. But the guy, if you wanted to go play that, you can go and find it.
I hear it's very easy to find if you want it.
Yeah.
So guess what? The Eufy cameras are all going flat after 5 months.
Oh, the plug them onto a tree cameras.
Yeah, I mean, again,
how are you spelling them? YUFE?
No, EUFY cam. And you tell me this, Andrew, putting on your Dr. Armstrong technical hat.
Yeah.
It's a Wi-Fi camera that you only have to charge once a year.
Well, I have here, my cameras here run for at least a year on 2 AA batteries. But they don't record continuously.
These are recording continuously with motion detection and night vision.
Well, they sound similar, but I guess if they're in an area where there's lots of stuff going on, then they're never going to work.
No, and it's working on Wi-Fi as well.
Yeah, I mean, I don't believe they're recording all the time. I believe that surely they only come on when the motion, like the PIR, does.
Well, they seem to be recording all the time. People are saying, and maybe that is the problem with them.
Yeah, because I found of the ones that we've got, if you put them somewhere which is in a heavy trafficked area, like in a shop where you might want it, they'd be useless without like a permanent USB power supply. But yeah, on batteries AA, they're probably going to last a day.
In most common scenarios, a fully charged camera can last for 20 degrees ambient temperature, 10 motion detections per day, and 30 seconds recording each time.
There you go.
Ooh,
that's from their bump, but there we go.
This is something I might be interested in, guys. It's called Calico, Magical Girls Running Cat Cafes. Calico is a calm and cozy cat cafe simulator where you pet cats, decorate your cafe, and hang out with the witches and magical girls.
There you go.
It's doubled its pledge, its goal of 23 grand. So yeah, it's a lot of furry pussy action.
There's a lot of weird businesses to be backed on there, where people want to open like vegan cafes that only serve green vegetables and stuff. There's all the kind of really weird business backing people are looking for.
I think that you could open up a set of vegan restaurants that serve only vegans. In that you have to prove you're a real vegan.
Or you have to provide like a stool sample before you go or something.
Yeah, if you've eaten any meat in the last 24 hours or last week, you're not allowed.
It's very interesting though, the whole thing. I think I do like the idea though of a Kickstarter being like a community funding project for something that may not happen. But then you have to wonder that if a business wishes to open and has to resort to this for the funding to open the business, does that mean then that the business plan for longevity of the business isn't going to be sustainable?
Oh,
It's really hard. I mean,
Mm.
some of the stuff I've got out of Kickstarter, I'm so happy. Even I mean, I've backed games that have, you know, when they've finally come out and they've come out late and all this other stuff. And I'm talking board games and video games.
Mm.
And the end product hasn't been good, but I've still enjoyed backing them because the best Kickstarters are the ones that actually talk you through the process of what, you know, the struggles they go through. I'm happy to pay that extra tenner, or even probably more than that to get that experience. You know, I mean, look at the Mighty Number Nine thing. Everyone hated the game. Yeah, the game weren't that great compared to Mega Man. It still wasn't that bad of a game, but everything, being able to experience everything that went along for $15 was actually quite an enjoyable experience for me.
worth it.
I had more fun seeing what was going wrong than playing the game. That's for sure.
I've just come across a page here that looks brutal, right? Because I typed in YouTube into Kickstarter as something that we
Right.
might know a little bit about, and I thought
Okay.
it's kind of, it's not the platform, is it really, for trying to get a YouTube channel started?
Oh, you want to get a YouTube channel started? Go to GoFundMe and type in YouTube, and then look at the
Oh
amount of
yes.
people there that want to start YouTube channels, and
They need an
funding.
Xbox.
And
They need an
yeah,
Xbox X or a bloody streaming quality PC or something to get them going.
Because what I feel though is a bit sad, and I'll give you that particular example. While GoFundMe's loading, is that they want to make a channel about for autistic, showcasing autism and stuff like that. And if their YouTube thing's going to fail, which it probably will, yeah, because it's not Kickstarter the right thing. It's kind of sad because it means they probably won't start. Whereas the barriers to entry for YouTube are pretty much zero, aren't they? You just need a webcam and you can get going, can't you?
Well, a phone.
yeah.
You
A
can
phone,
you can
yeah.
start a YouTube channel pretty much on a phone, can't you?
So many.
Yeah, love him or hate him. Look at people like Ray William Johnson, old Equal Free. He started his videos in his bedroom with a phone, not a phone, with a crappy camera because his phones weren't that big then. But yeah, crappy little camera just pointing next to him, standing next to a window to be able to get decent light, and that was the whole video. And he, at one point, was the biggest channel on YouTube. Back at that.
Really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, I mean, if you're looking here, I'm trying to think what are these guys doing, because this guy's like he's making he's got a grand already pledged. I mean,
You don't know how long they've been going. I think, like, essentially keep it open indefinitely. I mean,
oh, so so it's not like Kickstarter where it says you're
you have a
starting a
countdown
project.
day, yeah.
You could use it like a Patreon.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the old Trump wall thing's still going.
Hmm. Oh, I'm gonna have a quick look for. Right, I've just typed into Google GoFundMe and YouTuber, and there's a couple that have been pulled down here, and I'm just seeing if any of them are still active. Here we are, and there's things like this one here. My dream is to become a YouTuber and give tips and have fun from YouTube. You also get something out of it. I want to be able to get my own stuff, not going to lie. Also, to help out around the house, you know, or help my brothers. I don't need it fast. I've learned to be patient. It will mean so much to me to know there's actually people that are willing to give a stranger some. Well, she had no donations, wanted $230. What would we be backing?
A child's dream.
Yes, but there's lots of them. There's loads of these ones that get pulled down. I'm gonna have to dip into the YouTube cache here. There's one here. Please support my YouTube channel. I'm trying to raise money so I can purchase my dream camera. Well, support a new YouTuber who wants a high-end camera.
Can you have a Kickstarter to start a Kickstarter? Says Becky. Maybe.
I think
It's a bit meta.
there was something a bit like that once, wasn't there, Dan? There was something like a Kickstarter to do something, wasn't there? Wasn't it? Wasn't there a Kickstarter to start an alternative Kickstarter?
Oh, I totally remember that. Yeah. What was that?
Oh,
I do remember, yeah. Something
there
like
was
that.
one a bit like that. There was someone who wanted a Kickstarter to start like an alternative
Wasn't
So
there a
it's
kickstarting thing where people could fund people's breast jobs? Do you remember
Yeah,
that?
my free breast implants. It's been taken down now, but yeah, you can get the old Wayback Machine open and have a gander through that. Look at lots of
Dirty
not
old
fat
men.
women.
And in exchange, you'll get lots of pictures of them.
Yeah, essentially. So basically, there was even better than looking up that. Let me just search this before I tell you too. One second.
In case it's
My
totally grot filled.
There you go. Yeah, my free breast implants on YouTube, and then you find all these old videos of women telling you how to lure sugar daddies in to pay for your breast implants. Yeah, there you
Really?
go. Yeah, because the thing is, what the website did, it didn't just attract obviously buyers, that wanted to help women get bigger breasts, but it also attracted doctors. So they would actually have to pay to get the details of that woman. Surgeons, even sorry, not surgeons. Yeah.
So the video I'm not going to play because of bandwidth issues and thing, but look at the comments here. Oh my God, I've talked to the guy that wants me to watch him strip also. Haha, I'm going to do it tonight. So is this like all their patrons?
Crazy, isn't it?
Here we go. Another one. This is from. I'm going to name the person because I think this e-begging is just in this way is bad. This is from a person called Sounding Panda. Hey friends and family, I need your help. I'm building a gaming computer for my YouTube channel. This will help me achieve my goal of becoming an entrepreneur by enabling me to make games and content for consumers. This content will stimulate the mind, which has positive effects. Also, whoever donates, I'll give you a shout out on my next video.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just thinking though, here's an idea, right? Let's say I was going to put aside like $2,000, right? For argument's sake, I've got budget. It's right here, $2,000. I'm almost thinking, can you reverse do this? Can I literally go through this and say, what can I make somebody do for $2,000?
That's where Fiverr comes in, surely, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you could get a lot of stuff done for $2,000 on Fiverr. You could have your YouTube channel like written for you for a whole next year.
I'll tell you what, though, on Fiverr, you can also get some very cool kind of stuff done by some real high-end people. I mean, for a
You can,
for
I've
a
started
video,
using Fiverr Pro at work for real work stuff because I've been trying for so long to get. I've got a marketing budget that's burning a hole in my pocket, and I've been finding it so difficult to get people to just really get on board with it. Like, I have money, can you do this? And they're so useless. I just went on Fiverr. I was like, I'm going to just do this myself, and I found so many great people who can write really good copy. Who are willing to push your press releases onto the networks. Do you see what I mean? We used to pay like hundreds and hundreds of pounds a month to companies to do this for us, and now I can just do it directly.
well, I mean, I had a lovely thing on Fiverr that literally only cost me $5. I did I can't show it because of the terms of the agreement with the person on Fiverr, but I recorded a special announcement video for my niece because we're taking her to Disney World this year as a surprise. And to do the voiceover of the video, I actually got the guy who does the Honest trailers to do it for
Brilliant.
$5. He just did, yeah, and it was so professionally. I mean, this is the guy who does professional movie trailers for the cinema, and within half an hour he sent me back the 2 sentences I needed. Brilliant.
I'm almost thinking,
Yeah.
just for fun, right? I might just, because I've got a personal Fiverr account as well as a work one. I'm going to put my personal Fiverr account on. I'm going to set myself up a Fiverr channel, or whatever you call it, and create some
Right.
gigs there. And it could be just that. I'll read out whatever you want me to read out or something, and let you just see what happens. See if you get anything.
Yeah, it
Not
could be
because you're
worth
going to
it.
really need to make a Fiverr, but because it just could be a bit of fun.
No, a gaming YouTube. Custado says a gaming YouTube channel now. There's an idea. Hey, Bard Snagglebug. Shout out to everyone right now. Everyone, you are awesome, especially you, Andrew.
Bard
who's referring to Dr.
Snagglebug,
A.
you rarely make the stream, so it's fantastic you are making this one. How about I reskin my channel with a lovely comic book style avatar? I think that's what all the youngsters are doing now.
Yeah, here's one last thing. I've really got to, actually, I really should get on with my editing, but I'll to show you one really cool thing you can do. If you go to Google and I'm just putting it in the chat now, but if you literally type the words in exactly, I invoke my rights under the Kickstarter's terms of use. That's what people go crazy about, typing on failed projects.
Is it like as a space? You have to put spaces between it?
Yeah.
I invoke my rights under.
Yeah, I've put it in there.
Yeah.
I invoke my rights under the Kickstarter's terms of use, and you'll just find endless amounts of pages of failed projects.
Don't reveal your secrets, Dan.
No, I mean, it's too much of a fucking well of shitty Kickstarters for me to sift through every single one.
This is literally what Discord has done. Discord has blocked it because they're obviously being run by the Kickstarter Illuminati.
And there you go. You can just look through the different Kickstarters there. You got one there, like the most hygienic toothbrush case ever.
Oh, so really any of these things are if I just click, oh yes, I see. I can see it in the search term now. So literally all of these. Wow.
So yeah.
But does nobody listens to those, do they? Those comments. I mean, you've literally just pissed your money away at that point.
Yeah, I mean, and then there is definitely a risk to Kickstarter, without a doubt. I mean, not everything's going to work, but you know, they're not the ones that I like to focus on. I like to focus on the ones that have a bit more of an interesting story behind them.
I'd like to know the story behind this one, Dan. The greatest pants ever, and the only pants you'll ever need. It's American. They're trousers.
Oh, not pants.
Okay,
pants.
yeah.
But scam, no pants, no replies to messages.
I'm going to put underwear in apparel now. I want to see all the underwear related projects, because surely after millennia of wearing underwear, nobody can bring in some new underwear tech.
I spent over $200 on pants and I got nothing.
I quite like the picture that was on this. Well, this is a different picture. I like this in the video. It's showing somebody getting suspended over a lake by their pants. I think we all need pants that tough, don't we?
Yeah. It's just like, can you give me a wedgie for my Kickstarter page, please?
Oh, I don't know why I'm looking at. I'm going to go off this now. It's just bulges.
I need to be careful. I want a refund on my pants.
Yeah. Send them back used.
Brilliant. Where are my pants? And that's.
Oh dear.
That is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Well, thank you for joining us tonight, Daniel.
No problems. I'm going to carry on with. Yeah. Awesome stuff.
Thanks, Daniel. I'll get back to actually doing something with the game.
Yeah, sorry, well, I sort of took over a little bit.
That's
all good.
Fine. All fun and games.
No worries. Cool. Catch you guys later.
Thank
See
you.
Bye. Right.
So question for the YouTube chat first, Andrew.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm just cleaning up some
How
games.
much would everyone in the YouTube chat pay for a pair of pants?
Is that underpants or other?
Trousers. We're talking these are ultimate trousers, apparently.
What were these? Are these the one pair of trousers that the only pair you'll need for the rest of your life type?
That's right. They're the only pair you'll ever need.
Well, can I watched an interesting video recently that I thought I'll let you know about. It was about this deal that I think American Airlines did, where you could actually buy this magic ticket for like $600,000.
Oh, I saw a video about that. And isn't it the one you could fly sort of in?
You can fly any time, anywhere, on any flight, first class, as many times as you like, forever.
Then didn't they start like wangling the T's and C's eventually?
Yeah. So imagine you've got this thing which clearly your business will have bought for you, because there's no way most normal people would buy that or could afford it. Yeah.
No.
And people just start gaming it right away. So you've already got this thing which is a crazy good deal anyway. And they started gaming it. So they're like, you could book a seat for your partner, and they were like booking these extra seats and bringing their bag on, and they were putting the name of their partner as, tea bag or something, you know what I mean? They were giving these flights away to just random people at the airport, because they just made them feel good to just walk up to somebody, go, here's a ticket for a free first class upgrade. And they reckon that they were costing the airline. There were 60 of these tickets sold globally, right? There's quite a lot of money to the airline, But they reckon, I think it was like, is it maybe 20% of those, or maybe all of them, were costing the airline $1 million per year in their wrangling and all the shit they're up to. Um, I think for argument's sake, most first class seats are empty anyway, so really, what are you costing
Mm,
the airline? But apparently, they don't do those tickets anymore, unfortunately.
no. Craig is back. That's good news.
Oh, Costado says I pay €35 for a pair of pants from CNA. We don't have
Oh, I
CNA
remember.
anymore.
Not in the UK. Do you remember the CNA advert? Used to be to the used to go CNA to the Ski Sunday theme.
I don't remember that.
I remember that. I used to like CNA. It
Oh,
was. I used to dress. My mother used to dress me like a United Colours of Benetton kid in bright pastel color, multicolour t-shirts and chinos.
oh really? Well,
Yeah,
I was never that fashionable.
I had a pair of. I used to wear things like moccasins as a kid.
Was there any particular piece of clothing as a kid that you were ever kind of forced to wear that you hated, but you had to wear it?
Um, I'm trying to think. What did I wear that apps to? I didn't like wearing jeans until I was about 14.
Really?
Mm,
What would you be wearing? Just shorts?
no, 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 no. I was one of the. I was. It was. Well, I mean, we were the same age, Andrew. It was the sort of early 90s. So it was all about the trackies.
Ah, okay.
All about the trackies. So, I admit I had several shell suits.
I um I didn't have a shell suit to what to way late in the whole that thing really.
Really? No,
Yeah,
I used to have a
yeah.
few shell suits. I used to be, it was back in the day when kids all wore shell suits all the time.
So Craig has an interesting thing there. He says one of his police are asking for one of his neighbours if they've seen it, done a runner perhaps.
Mm.
Craig didn't like knitted jumpers. Costado didn't like knee pads on his trousers. Well, knee pads on your trousers. I don't remember that actually being a thing.
So here's the question, Craig: has your camera caught anything of this? Because I know you have a security camera. Has your security camera caught anything? Do you remember I caught the person across the road breaking into the into a car across the road the other week? JJXB shell suits reminds me of spitting images. Essex is crap. Do you know what I want to bring back that I liked? Global hypercolor t-shirts.
I had one and I
Mhm.
ruined it.
Yeah, you put it in the tumble dryer and you overworked the
No, I didn't.
crystals or something, did you?
What happened in my one is that oh look, I've done a hello world by the way in the game, so now I am proper coder. I basically tucked it into my jeans, and it wore a band around the middle of it out. So it was something weird about that material. It was almost like Global Hypercolor was painted onto a t-shirt. I don't think it was
It's a.
ink.
It says here what it is. The color change of hypercolor t-shirts is based on a combination of two colors: the color of the dyed fabric, which remain consistent, and the color of the thermochromatic dye. Droplets of the thermochromatic dye mixture are enclosed in transparent microcapsules, a few micrometers in diameter, bound to the fibers of the fabric.
Ooh.
The thermochromatic droplets are actually a mixture of several chemicals. Crystal violet lactone, the color changing dye itself, benzotriazole, a weak acid, and a quaternary ammonium salt of a fatty acid dissolved in 1-dodecanol as solvent. These lead to a reversible chemical reaction in response to temperature, which that produces a change of color. At low temperatures, the mixture is solid. The weak acid forms a colored complex with leucio dye by causing the lactone ring in the center of the dye molecule to open. At high temperatures above 24 to 27 degrees centigrade, the solvent melts and the ammonium salt dissociates, allowing it to react with a weak acid. This reaction increases the pH, which leads to the closing of the dilactone ring of the dye, to convert it to its colorless form. Therefore, oh right, so basically what happens is as it gets hot, the it looks like as it gets hot,
Yeah.
the capsules allow the reaction to happen, and then they kind of close back up again when it gets cold.
Ah.
Maybe you rubbed the crystals off.
I certainly rubbed it up the wrong way, and it was
Yes.
never the same again.
There we go.
I'm trying to look at this asteroids game. I'm trying to think, what can you do to an asteroids game to actually make it different? Asteroids was pretty much
I can
perfect,
tell you
wasn't it?
exactly what would make it better. Change the asteroids for boobs.
Boobs. So let's see how
Yes.
Oh, okay. Let's see how it stores its graphics. That would be
Change the
interesting.
asteroids for boobs. Change the ship to a willy, and then it's spunk, and it's perfect.
You know what game I would quite like to make? I would
What?
like to make a Robotron multiplayer. How about this? It's a multiplayer Robotron game where you can just jump in. You just type in the URL and you just start playing. It's like a continuous permanent world, right?
Hmm.
And instead of robots, maybe it's zombies or something to make it more contemporary. But Andrew, this is what you can do. So you've got WASD moves you around, right? You're shooting wherever your
Right.
mouse is pointing. So your mouse is your cursor, a bit like Abuse and those games, right? But
Uh-huh.
check this out. You run around the map, you can collect resources. Like every now and then, randomly, these things will appear on the map that you've got to kind of collect. And maybe zombies are guarding them as well. And you've got to go and like batter a bunch of zombies. And if you type in your team name, when any of your fellows with the same team name typed in, you're like as a gang as well. And when you collect all these resources, what it allows you to do is then click the right mouse button wherever you are. And wherever you are, you will build a little bit of wall, right? That can sustain damage from zombies but slow them down a lot significantly, and you can shoot through the walls. So basically you're collecting the resources to build these little bases where all your gang is staying inside. Do you see what I mean?
Right.
So
Yeah,
it's
I
like a
think I'm with
little,
you.
it's an extra dynamic for the Robotron because it's obviously a persistent world that lasts forever. So you need a way to, keep this thing going. And then I guess if you're in a PvP enabled room, all of the clans can sort of fight each other, and it's basically a map domination game where you're just trying to get as much area as possible with your team of
Hmm.
people, and that's it.
That's
Like
interesting.
we could just be playing it now, like now, literally in the stream, and then anybody in the chat could just jump in and start,
Hmm.
shooting baddies, and we just build a little
Get
thing.
get coding. Get coding, sir.
And you could have a little scoreboard in the top right corner just showing who's got currently dominating the map, and you'd have like little team back office show or little like
Hmm.
that in there. And that's
That's a
it.
good
That's all
one.
it does. Nice and simple. No
So
steam.
Hill CT, sorry, is asking, is the technique I said earlier about used in all the color changing T-shirts from the mid '80s? Yes, it was. That's the global
Oh,
hypercolor technology,
um,
and apparently it's McBeam's birthday. So
happy
happy
birthday, McBeam, for sure. We won't ask the age. I think
21 again.
21 again. Exactly. You read my mind. McBeam, is it? Have I mistaken? You've been a little bit ill as well recently. Hopefully, you're feeling better now as well.
Mm.
So process small ship size 75. Is that a percentage perhaps? So I'm going to make that size. I'm going to make it size. What's my wife going on about now?
So here's a question for the chat: if you could bring back one discontinued food, one discontinued drink, one discontinued TV show, and one discontinued piece of clothing, what would it be?
So again, one discontinued drink would be.
Drink,
Was it? What was the one with 4 flavors? Quattro.
quattro,
Quattro.
quattro.
Yeah.
Okay, one discontinued food.
Um. Gosh. I can't even think of a discontinued food. Everything's really still exists.
Mm.
I don't have a
Okay, let's go
discontinued
through the
food.
list again. Okay, so Floating Fat Man says Tab, the drink. Do you mean Tab or Tab Clear? Floating Fat Man. Okay, so discontinued food. Okay, so the discontinued drink, discontinued food, discontinued TV show, and a discontinued piece of clothing, or clothing that we don't wear anymore. Okay, he'd like full-sized wagon wheels back.
Have they shrunk again?
Pardon? What?
Wagon wheels, have they shrunk?
I don't know if we've got bigger. It's a tab clear, Floating Fat Man. Cheap. Becky says bring back cheap booze.
What was the? I can't even remember booze. Yeah, I mean booze. You used to just be able to go out for a tenner, wouldn't you? And you'd have
Yeah.
plenty of
But is that
drinks
but
for
is
that.
that more just cost to inflation?
Yeah, that's why I couldn't understand that as well now. If I'll give you an example. When I um go out for lunch, all these youngsters are really fine paying £6 to £10 for their lunch every day.
Mm.
Doesn't that seem like a lot of money?
It does to me. It really does.
But maybe that's just it now with inflation.
Let's have a look. Bring back cheap booze. Okay, Floating Fat Man. He'd like to see Blake 7 brought back.
Blake 7 with the wobbly sets, wasn't it? Blake 7.
It was like a dark Doctor Who.
Oh, I've ruined
Okay.
it.
Okay, because Jolt Cola is a request we've got to bring back, and Firefly as a TV show.
Firefly was good though, wasn't it?
Kevin Lee is saying when he was 18, he'll get 4 pints and a Chinese takeaway on the way home for under a fiver. Did he carry it home like Penny Farthing?
I can't believe that was ever true, to be honest.
Costado was saying he liked Spa Fruit User Soda. I've not had that one before, but now they do a Bundaberg Blood Orange.
Bundaberg.
JJXB is saying bring back Spitting Image.
Bundaberg. Oh, I loved Spitting Image. Kids
Yeah.
in the Hall was good, Becky, as well. But the thing is, Spitting Image, I don't even think you'd be allowed to bring it back now, is it? People couldn't handle that kind of satire, could they?
Maverick Chocolate Bars, says Rich. Maverick, if I remember right, was a bit like a peanut boost, if I remember.
Six Saints. Right, well, I think it's time for me to go and have my 4 pints and Chinese food and watch some Spitting Image, if I could find some. I'm going to just have a look at Cresta though. That sounds a familiar name.
Cresta, yeah. Cresta was the stuff for milkshakes.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, you can still buy it though.
It's frothy, man.
Yeah.
Well,
Bix Pickles McBeam. You can buy Bix Relish and Pickles, I believe, on Amazon now, even in America.
Bix, that's still going though, isn't it? Bix.
Bix Relishes and Pickles, I believe. Yeah.
Right. Okay, well, thank you so much, everybody who's still watching the stream. I know we had a lot of hiccups, and I know we didn't do any game design, which kind of sucks, but I'm going to be putting some pressure on Mr. Gary Pinkett, to see if we can. I think Robotron, Andrew, or what are we going to call it? Every good project needs to start off with a good name, though, otherwise it will never be real. Zombietron.
Bobotron. Back office Tron.
Bobotron. Oh, I like that.
Well, you call it Botron.
Botron. Botron. Bostron. Bostron. B-O-S.
Kevin is congratulating us on a poop free.
A poop through. Poop shoot.
Poop free stream.
I literally said poop shoot, right? Because I meant, like the fruit shoot drink, and I was doing a food take on it. But actually, poop shoot is an actual thing. The Adventures of Bob Monkey Pimp. I like that. Is he a monkey pimp, or does he pimp for monkeys? Or does it really matter?
Or is he a monkey who pimps other monkeys?
Yeah.
Could be a few.
Right, I'm going to go pimp my monkeys, and yeah, we'll see you in the Discord and the thing. And actually, I better upload tomorrow's video. Lots of Walkman repairs. Ta-ta!